Hey, Juventini, welcome back to the All Juve Cast channel, where it's all Juve all the time. I'm Alberto, and I'm going to bring you the news to January 4th. All right. Now, here we're going to kick it off with the news that there are finally contacts between Juventus and Newcastle United for Aaron Ramsey. All right. So the contacts all have been initiated, and now hopefully they can work the departure of Aaron Ramsey, who's essentially been frozen out by the team and personal decision, as the relationship has been broken for quite some time now. Okay, so that's the news lately on Aaron Ramsey. Now we move on to we're going to get to Caio Jorge. So yesterday I spoke about Kyle Georgie potentially being used in order to bring somebody in. Now there is a potential offer from Olympique Marseille and Juventus for a possible swap of Arek Milik. Olympique Marseille would like this to be a permanent deal in order to sell the Polish striker. Now, this would be brutal. So Juventus is looking for a striker option for 6 months and 6 months only out of the targets that they have acquired. Now, this is the problem: is that all these targets, these potential targets to come in here for a 6 month loan, are players that these teams are trying to get rid of. So for any of them to agree to a 6 month deal, dry loan, that's it, is going to be next to impossible. We cannot lose Kyle George permanently for a stopgap option. That is like worst case scenario. Now, yesterday when I brought up Kyle George, I see a lot of comments on the YouTube video about Juventus and how they treat youngsters, and it's just going to deter any young talents from coming to Juve in the future. Now, I don't necessarily agree with that. I think we've been doing much better as of late recently with the youngsters, and I think what's going to be more of an indication is what we end up doing with guys like Rovella, Fagioli, and even Sule. This is going to give us a good indication of if Juventus has in fact changed their ways with grooming the young talent. I think those are going to be guys and names that I'll be looking for to see how we actually progress them and whatnot. So far, we've done wonderfully with Rovella. I think Fagioli should actually spend some time in Serie A on loan before actually coming to Juventus, but so far it's been good. The other things we have to think about when we talk about the younger players is skill level, because guys like Delict, Chiesa, they're all young. Kulishevsky has had opportunities with the team. He has been able to make his breakthrough, but he has had opportunities. So things are changing and moving for the better. I think we just have to keep an eye on it. But those are the names I will be looking for to see if there's actually change and progress there with Juventus. That's going to be Rovella, Fagioli, and Sule. Okay. So now we'll move on to the news that it appears Alvaro Morata will be remaining with Juventus for the rest of the season, as Juventus is going to have a tough time finding a striker option. They are basically letting Alvaro Morata know that they're prepared to keep him with no sight of striker coming in for 6 months. Okay, this is dangerous. This is a dangerous situation for Juventus. Why? Because we know how emotional Alvaro Morata is. The last thing we need is him pouting and not playing to the level that we need down the home stretch. This is a very valid concern for many Juventini to have. Okay, unfortunately, it's just going to be very hard to find an alternative to come in there for the time that we need. So yeah, we will have to see. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Apparently, there was only one player from Barcelona that Allegri was willing to make the move for, but it wasn't going to happen. So it's kind of dead in the water. Juventus, again, looking for a striker just on loan because their main target in the summer remains Dusan Vlahovic. That is the rumors we're still hearing, even though some of the top guys say don't get your hopes up for Vlahovic and that he will not come to Juventus. I think it's going to be very difficult for us to see Vlahovic even in the summer. All right, it's going to be very difficult. Julian Alvarez. Julian Alvarez is still a move I would love to see Juventus make, and apparently Juventus is still following Julian Alvarez. Okay, there has been contact between the player's agent and United, who, however, has to get rid of players to make it work, and Juve has also been involved in those contacts and currently on standby monitoring the situation during this window. Julian Alvarez is one I would personally like to see come in. I think that would be a fantastic move for us. Now we'll move on to outside of the Mercado, and Dybala is fit and training very, very well with the group, and he's motivated to take the field against Napoli. Can't exclude the possibility of seeing him starting that match. Hopefully, we could see him start this match. Unfortunately, we get some bad news when it comes to Bonucci. Yesterday, it was reported as day-to-day. Now it's looking that he's highly unlikely to even recover for the Supercoppa final, which is on the 12th. So he is definitely going to miss, it appears, Napoli and Roma matches, and potentially the Super Cup against Inter as well. So that's extremely, extremely disappointed. Now we get back into a little bit of the Mercado things. Juventus are working to lock up Scamacca this month so that in the summer he can join Juventus. Okay, and the contacts with Sassuolo are planned to make a agreement, but again, we'll have to see because Juventus has to move some players. Now we get to Kulusevski. Kulusevski is one of the names that's been thrown out there for a move, he and McKennie, but apparently Sevilla is working on a loan with an mandatory purchase for Kulusevski, and Juventus is looking for around 35 million euros. I want to know, Juventini, do you pull the trigger on that deal? Would you seal that deal if that was in fact true? 35 million euros, starting off with a loan and then a mandatory purchase for Kulusevski. Do you make that deal? Now, last, certainly not least, again, we're talking about getting ready for Juve Napoli. Napoli is depleted quite heavily on their team. Juventus has some as well, and we're not out of the woods yet. Okay, so Dybala hopefully can play. Chiesa, we're still waiting to find out, but he should be good to go. And Bonucci is the latest blow. So we're going to enter a very, very tough stretch, and Rugani is going to be in there until Chiellini gets the clearance. So this is going to be tough. Tough sledding and a tough, crucial month for Juventus. Rugani, I hope you're ready. Juventini, there's your news for January 4th. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, but more importantly, get in here and drop me your comments and your thoughts on everything that surrounded Juventus to January 4th. Okay, and we will talk tomorrow. Fino alla fine, Forza Juventus. Ciao.